Okay, we're going to be hopping into streamlining your online presence through your website and your booking flow. So let's start with your online storefront. That's a website, right? So this should be working for you 24/7, and it should be working to explain things in depth to your ideal client. The last thing we want to do with our website is confuse any potential clients. So your focus for your website should be clear navigation. It should be mobile optimization because 80% of users are on their phones. However, if you notice when you download any of these website editing tools, most of them are still set up to primarily focus on the desktop view, right? But that's not how we really search for things in our day-to-day lives anymore. So yes, you want to focus on your website through the desktop view. A lot of times it's a lot easier set things up, see what you're doing. And a lot of them you set up through desktop, and then whatever you do automatically will affect your mobile view. But do not ignore how the mobile user interface works, because that is extremely important. If you look sloppy, messy, confusing, or think, okay, I'll just chop this part out on the phone, but it's something that's really necessary that your ideal client needs to know, that needs to be on your mobile view. You want to make sure there are clear calls to action. You want to enter in little buttons and things that they can click to book now. If you want them to book a call to talk to you first and learn a little more about what it is you offer, you can do that. If you want to start to drive things to your email list, you can provide a button to click for joining a wait list, joining the email list. You want to offer them maybe like a discount or a free downloadable. A lot of people, in the blogging space at least, they grow a lot of their email list by providing like a checklist or a downloadable or something of that nature. A lot of times if you have a service-based business, when we first started with our website, we decided to do a little pop-up that offered them 10% off if you joined our email list. And that's how I was able to grow my email list. By most of the people who came to the website opted in. And we made sure to tell them, like, we're not going to send you a bunch of spam emails. We're not going to blow you up. It's just going to be promotional offers, etc., and they automatically opt in. So just things like that. If you're using tools like Gloss Genius, Square, Acuity, or booking systems like that, that's great. But ask yourself, does my site clearly show what I offer? Who is it for? How do I book? Without needing them to click around and search 6 times, because they're going to start to get a little frustrated when they're clicking around trying to figure it out, and then they're going to move on to the next person. So we really want to focus on the website structure, the booking flow. And the way that we're going to do that is by using things like templates. That helps you a lot with your website structure. A lot of people will try to DIY their website for the first time. It's so much harder. It's not worth the headache. I promise you, I tried it. I've tried multiple hosting platforms for my website. The one that we love, that we use, is Showit. We started off with a Wix website, and that was great to start off. I wouldn't say that I don't recommend Wix, but after talking to website copy professionals, they've recommended that I go a different route and to use something like Showit, because it is more of a platform that's built to grow with you. They have different things that you can add in, such as plugins, which we'll get into. And they also seamlessly integrate with WordPress. WordPress is where you want to host your blog. Almost every blog that is a top performer is hosted on WordPress, and Showit, the hosting site that we recommend, includes WordPress subscription in your subscription package. So it all seamlessly works together. You just go into your backend. We're going to show you all about it, what we do, and how we show up online professionally, effectively, and get all of those frequently asked questions that our clients ask us already out there, so that they don't need to call us. They don't, honestly, I don't feel like your clients want to call you. That's a bottleneck in the process, right? You want to provide them with enough information before they feel the need to even talk to you. If they feel confident in the product or service you provide, it's more likely that they're going to book with you, which is why we harp so much on using a blog on your website as a place for education and information to provide to your potential clients. We're also going to go through and teach you how to use a virtual assistant to delegate a lot of this with an AI. This way you can mitigate costs. And a lot of what we started doing at first was spending literally 3 days of the work week on just writing blogs, scheduling them out, getting them across certain platforms, finding the images, inserting them into the page, making sure all of it flowed with the website, just so we could show up to make sure that we can rank on Google, so that Google would see us as more of an authority and a reliable business to even recommend to other people. Now there's things like third-party integration that Google is looking for, and that's why we're also going to use things like virtual assistants to help us with that. We're going to set up the social media systems and the analytics trackers that help you not only show up on one platform, but it helps you show up on 6 to 7. If you want to add to that, feel free. We right now are only on, I believe, 6 or 7 platforms. And all of this is delegated through our systems workflow because of the strategy that we use, and then we use our business finance tools as well to track how all of this traffic that we're driving and all of these clients that we're booking and all of that that's working in the front end, where we're very client focused. We set up our finance tools so that that can be managed in the background easily. It only takes us now about like an hour a week, if that. An hour is extremely generous. Our accounting software and our profit and loss statements, these are all very, very important factors, and they all work as a system. This is why we're calling it the back-end system for scale. If you have all of this organized, then you can truly focus on your social media, how you're showing up, that client interaction, and all of those things that you need to do, your marketing, and so that you can scale without everything crushing down behind you. This is our website. Welcome to Soroki Lash Studio online. So here you want to use a lot of copy that kind of hits through Google. So why we have the word lash in our branding is to hit on SEO. Since we already covered that, you want to have that as like your front of your page, your title. That'll help you a lot. Not specifically lash, whatever it is that you do, you want to put that somewhere on this front page. If you're trying to rank for local SEO, you want to somehow have a place where you can see that local location. So for us, we chose to say empowering Jacksonville women to look and feel elevated every day. The main purpose of this entire statement is just to get the word Jacksonville and women in there. So we've already hit lash for SEO. We've already hit Jacksonville for SEO. So now right away, it helps us to talk to Google and let them know, like, we do lashes in Jacksonville for women, right? So section 2 of our page, this is all hitting SEO keywords again, right? So Lash Studio, Jacksonville, lash extensions, and we've just expanded our service offerings. So now we do brows, lips, and makeup. We had to redo our entire site because when you add a service, if you're trying to rank for that service needs to be on your website, right? At first, we didn't have brows on here a lot, so we weren't booking for that as much. But if you want to start to focus on that, then obviously, whenever you focus on something new, I would say test it first as the service is in your business. If it does have like reviews and notice the service is being booked a lot, then that's when I would go in and integrate it on my website. I've done a lot of changes to my website over the years and spent hours of my time. And it's honestly not worth it if you don't do product market fit for your audience. If you don't do the testing first, it's really not worth it to change your website, because whatever you do to change your website to the copywriting that's on there and really change how you rank on Google with SEO. It starts to hit on things that we do again: lash extensions, brow design, permanent makeup, makeup artistry. And then it kind of talks to our clients about what they can expect. This is what I was talking about speaking to their symptoms and their feelings, what they're looking for. Our clients are very busy, successful women. When they book something, they are fine with paying for that price tag as long as they can relax. So they want to go and they want to feel calm. They want to be in a nice curated space. They want to come out feeling more confident, things like that. So we're speaking to our clients in this section to help to convert bookings. And then this is our clear call to action that we were talking to you guys about too. This is book your experience at Soroki Lash Studio. So book your experience, that's a call to action. And then we have that button right below with that clear call to action. Again, that button is going to lead to our booking site. So again, you're not just booking a service, you're stepping into your beauty experience. We specialize in timeless natural enhancements that help you look and feel elevated every day. So this is, again, talking to our ideal clients' symptoms. what kind of buyer we're trying to attract and work represented with. So these are just some different higher end brands that I've personally worked with or been featured with. Obviously the list goes on, but you just want to take like anything that you've done that's kind of going to help drive authority and make a client trust you. Like a new client that finds your page, right? They don't know you yet, but they do know maybe, for example, someone that you've worked with that you can say work represented with, and that helps to build trust. So a lot of people know Armani Beauty, a lot of people know Too Faced, a lot of people know Yves Saint Laurent, and then we were also featured in like Golf Magazine. Maybe our girls don't know what Golf Magazine is, but their husband's golf or something like that, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like I recognize that I've seen that before. So you're always going to be thinking about like what it is that this ideal client would be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know that. Immediately you're bringing down that level of doubt. And then we go right into what we offer. This is that pop-up we were talking about. So right now we're obviously marketing this program. So the Elevate Her program. And this is where you can learn more. It's the same thing. We're hitting on that SEO beauty business consulting program, telling you guys what it's about, and then a learn more button. That's the call to action. So we're just going to exit out of that. What we used this little pop-up for originally at first when we were building our email list was that like 10-20% offer. If you want this much off to book a service, click here, enroll in our email list, etc. All of that stuff would go into something like that little pop-up. Again, we're hitting on San Marco, Jacksonville. This is our exact location, right? So we're trying to rank for the location, local SEO, and then we just give them a quick little breakdown of what it is that we offer: lash extensions, brow makeup, lip blushing, and makeup artistry. Again, look at this: lash extensions, brows and permanent makeup artistry, lip blushing, makeup artistry, lashes, brows, lips, makeup. Like you want to keep hitting on those things. This not only helps with buyer psychology because you're making it extremely clear. When I say it should be so beyond clear what you offer on your website, I mean that so literally. So here, click below for more. These are just touch points of like things they can see that they can associate us with doing. This is like some of our client work, some of the services we offer, stuff like that. So here, book an appointment. These are all clickable buttons. Obviously, we said click below for more. If we didn't put that, they might not ever click that button, right? So we're hitting on all of the services, and this like kind of gives them a little bit more of like what they can expect by clicking on these things. Moving forward, why you should choose Soroki Lash Studio. I don't think this portion is necessary, but I do find that a lot of copywriters love to include things like this in their copy. I've heard that it helps a lot with buyer psychology, why you should trust us, why you should book with us. That always helps to build trust with the client. And then book now. Again, you might think this is a lot of like click here to books, but they say that on average, it should be every few scrolls or something like that when I address this with the website builder professionals. I originally just had book now on like 1 or 2 points on our homepage. And they said like, no, you need way more. So I'm here to tell you, you need way more. And then again, you want like a reviews section. These are just some quotes from, and then we look forward to meeting you, another booking now moment, and then here from the blog. So these are things that we're asked a lot, and we put that section on the blog very quickly. You can change all of these sections to highlight what exactly it is that you want to focus on and give a little bit more information to. So how to become a lash artist, we get asked that a lot. We put that here. Top trending products, lash edition. Our clients wanted to know like the top trending products. They kept asking us in studio, so we popped it on the website. And just like be really intentional about the conversations that you have with your clients. Really take in what they're saying, what they're asking you, what they're asking for. Things that you notice are repeated, you need to put on your website because it's going to help you with building trust, one, and with answering any frequently asked question before it comes to you, two, right? This gets them to spend more time on your website by clicking around, and that helps you with ranking on Google. But you need to know about lash lift and tints. That is a biggie right now. A lot of people ask us a lot of questions about the lash lift and tints. They're a little bit skeptical about booking them sometimes because it is a chemical service. And then this is a section to visit our blog. And then this has all of our socials down here. And this is just like our basic navigation. A lot of times we have the Instagram on the bottom of the website. I think right now we've taken it off just because we're like changing where we're going. But I do recommend if you can get the footer where you have your social media, definitely put that on there. Ours is just under review right now because of all the things we're changing. But then you would go, so for example, this is the book now. Remember how we touched on if you use Gloss Genius, Acuity, Square, or anything like that, whatever your booking site of choice is for your online business portion side of things, make sure that it's extremely clear. So for us, it's all branded, right? Like this still matches the website, still looks very clean, crisp. Ours is powered by Square. I chose to use Square honestly because as my business grows, if you want to change your offers, and I think it's really great to stick with something like Gloss Genius, or if you know that you're only ever going to do like these services or things like that. Since we started though, I mean, I've gone into like selling products, I've gone into like doing different services, I've gone into consulting. So I like to use something that can grow with me and isn't maybe so niche. But I mean, depending on your business, if you need something that's more niche and that's what works best for you, then do that. It's all a learning curve. We recommend Square. We love Square. We've used it for so long. I've thought about switching, but the more that I do things as far as like our bookkeeping, we use QuickBooks for our bookkeeping, but Square automatically integrates with those kinds of things. And I absolutely love that. Wherever I can get tech to like blend together, talk to each other, and I don't have to spend time doing all of that, that's what I love. I'm here for the productivity, right? So again, elimination, this is us speaking to their desires right here. Like we tell you guys, like just make it extremely clear. This is the service, this is their desire, this is the price. Some of our prices vary, and if they do vary, we just put that on there. We have a link though for like where the pricing is if they want to view that. We've also since changed our pricing a bit. Now we've noticed that we get asked like more of the pricing a little bit more. But you can put that on your social media. You can put it on your website, depending on the client that you're attracting. Obviously, if that's a question that they're asking a lot, then answer that question. Sometimes you can put like exactly how long the appointment will take. Some people show that, some people they hide that. It just depends on what you want to do. We like to show it because our clients are busy, like I said, and they want to know how long they need to plan for their day, right? So I love seeing stuff like this on a website. So you will find all of our recommendations over in Slack. Everything that we use to show up online is over there. So I would go click around, check it out. I highly recommend Show It. I highly recommend Tonic Site Shop for your website template. It doesn't have to look just like ours. They have colorful options. They have so many beautifully curated things. We even have a sales page that we purchased from them as a template. They have social media posts that you can download that you can be branded across all platforms. You want to make sure that your branding is extremely consistent. Find all of our links to all of our recommendations in the Slack channel. We're going to try to provide them here down below as well. But when you're planning out your website, when you're using your website copy and going ChatGPT, I got people that you look up to. Look at the pages that you want to emulate, not go copy them directly. Like, do not do that, but go look at them, see what they're doing. See, like, hey, obviously their business is working, right? There's a reason for that. You can provide these examples to your AI when it's writing your copy for you. And you can also tell it, obviously, all of the service descriptions that you have, then you're going to want to rewrite all of your pages, get that all planned out, and then come back. That's when you want to get your template. You can also provide ChatGPT with the template and it will write for the template. You're going to obviously have to do like some like tweaking of like switching things down and like switching out the fonts and things like that. But if you couple your booking flow with your website structure, make sure you have a beautiful template, make sure you have something with a template that like can keep your branding cohesive across all platforms. And just ensure that your website still clearly states what you offer, who it's for, how to book without needing to click around. And I would even say something like that to your ChatGPT when you're trying to get this copy up and running. And if you have questions, just let us know.